What's up, everybody?
Oh, what up?
We're back.
Here. It's time for the best weekly segment of your week.
Yeah, although we didn't.
That was a bad tee up. Best segment of your week.
All right, I'll delete this video also. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, let's do it.
No, but hey, sorry we missed you last week. Schedule was a little bit busy. We're gonna miss you again next week also.
Yeah. But then we'll be back the week after that, and then we should be able to stay mostly on track, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
But hey, if you're tuning in here, obviously you see it on the description. You're here for another episode of Half Hour Power. It's our opportunity to spend about 30 minutes talking about a list that Dave created over here, which is the top 30 power metal albums of all time. Hopefully, if you're here now, you've checked out our other content and you've seen other music content, specifically the Metalhead's Journey, where we talked about the big four of thrash metal. And currently, we're also running simultaneously here the top 50 metal albums of all time. And, we came across this album, was it Nightfall in Middle-earth by Blind Guardian. That was a power metal album that we both really liked. And I think it kind of sparked some interest in power metal.
It did.
And now we're here talking about power metal on a weekly YouTube show. How about that?
Yeah. So I'm excited. Edguy is one of the bands that I was really not familiar with this band at all. I think I legitimately only knew of them because there was like when you and I used to work together, I think you had shown me an Edguy song like way back when. And that's really it.
The album that actually comes after the album we're going to talk about tonight is called Rocket Ride. And that's the album that I had. And super good album.
So, small spoiler. Is this album better than that album?
It's tough, man. I mean,
or has it been a while?
I've lived with this album for about a week. Whereas that Rocket Ride album, I lived with it for a bunch of years. So... First blush, I would say Rocket Ride for me is still better, but this is a really good album. I was really, I was going into this expecting a good album, and I was glad that it delivered.
Okay, all right. Well, do you have some little background on Edguy or this album's particular?
I do. So, thank you. Man, I just got like a really, really mean look here. I don't know what I did to deserve that.
It was probably something, I'm sure.
Now it's a slightly less mean look. All right, so moving on here. We're talking about the number 26 album on our list. The artist is Edguy. The name of the album is Hellfire Club. So Edguy is a German power metal band formed in 1992 in Fulda, Germany. Edguy's name is an affectionate epithet for their math teacher at the time. So basically kind of like Leonard Skinner. They named their band after their math teacher, which is kind of funny.
All right.
They've released 10 studio albums, including their most recent release, Space Police, Defenders of the Crown, in 2014. Hellfire Club, their sixth album, released in March of 2004. It was their first release on Nuclear Blast. The lineup for the album includes Tobias Sammet on vocals, Jens Ludwig on guitar, Dirk Sauer on guitar, Eggy Exel on bass, and Felix Bonke on drums. This album did produce one single. Dave, could you...
I mean, look, I know what it is. I would not have guessed it if you'd asked me this blindly.
Yeah, and this is so sad, too, because this is the first song we listened to on the record, and as it turns out, it's absolutely the worst song on the record.
Oh, it's not even remotely close.
No, but fucking great name, though, man. Lavatory Love Machine.
Yeah.
I was shocked to discover that was a single.
Yeah, it's easily the worst song. Like, you could, literally, you just could delete this song from existence. And it would be better for it. I was not a fan of this at all.
I think we both went into it thinking, like, when we saw the name, we were like, oh, yeah, here we go. This is going to be, like, the tippy top. And it was not.
It does. Spoiler. Hey, look, it doesn't even sniff my top 5.
No, mine neither. So hey, if you're just tuning in with us here, we're going to go in here and rate this album using our patent-pending shitometer. And basically, we decided we needed our own proprietary rating system a little while back while we were doing our American Film Institute Top 100 list. And name of the game here when we give this rating is you want the lowest score possible. You want to be a 0, okay? Anything 49 down to 0, that's varying levels of we would recommend the album. Anything 50 and above, just varying levels of absolute shit. And just to help further understand this process, Dave will explain our tier system.
Yeah, so if the shitometer score is a little hard to follow, or if you need if you want something like, a little bit, something that more people use, which, I kind of like converted everything into like a tier list style. So S, A, B, C, D, and F. And once we give our scores, I'll kind of tell you where this falls on that scale.
Yeah. So, Dave, do you have the scores pulled up for last week?
I do.
What did I give the Sonata Arctica record?
You gave it a 34. Very solid score.
That's what I thought. Okay. So I felt I struggled with this album in terms of scoring, not struggled to listen to it. I thought the album is really, really good. I think there's 2 or 3 top tier power metal songs on this album that are like ones that I'll add to my main playlist going forward. All in all, I feel like this is a super strong album minus Lavatory Love Machine. I'm going to come in slightly better than Sonata Arctica because I feel like the guitar work on this album is better. I'm going to give it a 33.
Okay. That is funny because I also felt like it was just better than Sonata Arctica. For those keeping score, I gave Sonata Arctica 29. And I felt like this was just like, I'm going to be honest, Laboratory Love Machine holds it back from probably getting a little bit better of a score from me. And also, I will say there's a couple of other tracks that are just like short, immediate skip tracks on this record as well. And I'm not really a fan of like filler, like 50-second tracks generally. But I came in at a 27, so we're not far off. That puts us smack dab at a 30. Which I think a 30 is,
that's fair.
That's a fair score. If you're looking at a tier score, that is a solid B. That is a high B. I'd say B plus. So that's good. I think that is an accurate score.
So there's 11 songs on the record here, and part of our shtick here on Half Hour Power is we're going to give you what our top half of the album songs are. So there's 11 songs on it. We're giving you the top 5 here. So, and we like to kind of go back and forth and see how our list compares. Dave, I think we're going to have 3 songs that match on this list, and I think we're only going to have one in the same spot. I think we have the same top song.
Okay.
My guess.
I'll start us off to see how incorrect you're going to be. Okay.
All right.
My number 5, I will say, I don't think I struggled with my order very much. I was pretty, like, this was an easy ordering for me. Number 5 for me, it's one of the last, not the last song, but it's near the back half of the record, and that is Navigator. Overall, I thought Navigator was a really strong song, super catchy chorus.
And the Navigator goes straight to something to hell. Yeah,
dude. I thought it was just a very, very overall one of the catchier songs on the record, and so that's kind of why I picked it.
I agree, Dave. I actually have Navigator higher on the list. I have it at number 3 for me. I think the chorus makes the song. Great vocal melody. The riffs are good. And there's a really cool, one of the things I didn't really put in the notes because it doesn't come up as often, but they have this really cool bridge section in there that has some orchestration in it, along with some good guitar work going along with it as well. So I think it's a really cool song, and I didn't expect to find that good of a song kind of buried down at the end of the album, but solid song.
So what's your number 5?
Yeah, I'll give you my number 5 here. So I think you're gonna be mad at me for this, Dave, but I'm going The Piper Never Dies at 5. And
I don't like you.
Listen, I know. Listen, there's a lot of great riffs in the song. A lot of great riffs, and I think that's a separator for Edguy versus some other power metal bands. Is they are definitely riff driven, like they write good riffs. But I don't know that the song needed to be 10 minutes long. It's not egregious that it's 10 minutes, but it knocked it down the list for me a little bit.
Okay, I'm gonna. You just ruined this for me because that was my number one song. So
then we don't have the same number one.
Yeah, I think it's an absolute epic song.
Wow.
I think
your number one.
It's my number one. It was close. I assume now that you say that, I have a fairly safe bet on what your number one is. Probably. Yeah. It's probably what my number two is, but we'll get there. No, I like the lyrics on Piper Never Dies. Incredibly epic song. And it's I disagree with you, Josh. I don't think there's really a boring part of this song.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm not saying, I feel like it's just too long. And look, I am my history, right? I struggle with long songs over time, but like I'm trying to get better at it. Like I gave Dream Theater a really good score in our last 5 album rankings. I gave them a 15 for that album Images and Words.
Yeah.
And there's some, look, I felt like the last two songs could have been put together to make this 13-minute super song.
Yeah.
So I'm not like super anti-long song as much as I used to be, but there was just moments where I was just like, I'm kind of lost in it.
I don't know. I think it's super heavy, super epic. I love the song. So
great riffs. Great riffs.
So I guess I'll go here. My number 4 is the third track, We Don't Need a Hero. Did that even make your cut?
Interesting. That didn't even make my honorable mentions. That song is okay.
It's not okay. It's fast tempo. I love the chorus. We don't need a hero, dude. How can you not? The guitar solos on there. I love that song. Super high energy.
That's fine.
Look, is it somewhat stereotypical power metal? Sure, but dude, the riffs are solid and it's got a solid chorus. I don't know. I have a soft spot for just very very upfront kind of corn dog power metal.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Dave, I know you're not going to have this next song.
If it's a ballad, I don't.
Man, I love power metal ballads, man. They keep coming back for me, and they just there's something about them, man. That is just
it really forever?
Really good. So, no, my fourth song is "The Spirit Will Remain." It's the last song on the album.
Yeah, I know.
Look, it's a great ballad. A lot of orchestra in this song. And I think this goes back to Braveheart being one of my favorite movies. They have this. It's a bagpipe in Braveheart. I don't know if it's also a bagpipe in this song, but they have this instrument or part that sounds just like a part from Braveheart. And man, it just kind of took me back to like that feeling of watching Braveheart and having that music playing in there and then what's going on in the movie. But, his vocal performance in this song, it's top flight. Just the vocal melodies are untouchable.
Okay. Look, I respect it. My number 3 is one of the heavier songs on the record. I think it might be the most just straight up metal songs on the record, and that's Under the Moon. I thought that was
in my honorable mentions.
I think that is a super fast track. Like I said, it's obviously it's still got a good, pretty good chorus, but this one kind of made my list mainly because of the just the heaviness and the tempo of the song. It starts off pretty good, and it's got. The guitar solos on this whole album are really good. The guitar work in general is a showcase.
So you said that was your third song?
Yeah.
Wow, I cannot believe that you don't have this second song on your list.
Yeah, I love this song. So
it's a good song. Like I said, I had in my honorable mentions. It almost bounced the Piper for me, but I just had to ride the strength of the riffs. I'm shocked you don't have this song, Dave. It hurts me a little bit. Down to the Devil. My number 2 track.
I actually don't really like that song.
Man, dude, this is straight up just metal pop, dude. I love the guitar melody in the intro. The chorus, so good. Down to the devil.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's the chorus I don't like that much.
And it's got this really tasty harmonized guitar solo in it. I mean, I get it. Like, I think the first time I heard it, I was like, meh. But the more times I kind of went back to it, I was just like, down to the devil, and singing along with it. It just sucked me in.
So I would tell you this: if we had a top 6, this would have been number 6. Like, I don't hate the song, but it wasn't strong enough. Yeah, it wasn't strong enough to kind of get into my top 5. Like, it's not a skipper. Like, I wouldn't say it's a skipper. So if I said that, I misspoke. It's not a skipper, but it's just a little bit too on the nose for me. I don't know. Yeah. That's just me.
Well, I'll give my number 1, which I believe is probably your number 2.
It is
easily the best song on the album, Mysteria.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, well, it's my number 2. I think it's just under The Piper Never Dies, but they're like Mysteria, like, opens the opening of this with that scream.
Dude, whenever he hits... So, yeah, I have that in my notes. I have the opening riff and the scream. Dude, the first time I heard that, I got fucking goosebumps.
Dude, yeah.
Like, it's so good because then the drums kick in and everything. Oh, man.
I wish I could go back. Dude, I wish I could go back and tell you. Oh, this is on my first text. I said, opening track of Edguy. It's really good. that was like I texted you that during the week because up to that point we'd only listened to Laboratory Love Machine, and I was like, yeah, that opening track, it's really good. So yeah, Mysteria,
best riff on the record
for sure, dude. And it was at that moment I realized, okay, we're gonna be fine. The whole album isn't Laboratory Love Machine, which I was excited about. Look, if you're out there and you're listening to this and you just love that song, well, let us know why in the comments. Yeah. Please let us know what it is about that song. But no, Mysteria, excellent song, excellent opening track. I think Mysteria, I think that might be better than like 50% of Metallica's catalog. Dude, we're obviously joking. Yeah, deep cut. But you know what I will say, Josh? One thing, as we're kind of wrapping up on this album, one thing I've noticed about almost every album, even the albums that we like haven't been as strongly on, like the 1-2 punch of most of these albums have been really good. Like at minimum, the opening track of every one of these albums have been fantastic. Yeah. I think it's like these guys, I don't know, because that should be, like when we were like a band, right, and we always talked about what our opening track would be on there, like we were always talking about like it's got to be a strong opening track. Like we were very conscious of it. Yeah, and like especially if we were going to go play live, like it's, look, it's got to be something that's going to draw you in. It's got a good intro. I mean, we went with The Mission, I think most times, I think we only opened with something else once, other than The Mission. But, like, it's obvious that it's got to be a really good song. And so it's shocking to me when we hear, like, some of these other bands, like on the top 50 list, like this Judas Priest album that we're going to talk about next week. Dude, that opening song sucks. Yeah. It's terrible. Yeah, it's not good at all. It's a sleeper. Yeah, and it just sets the tone for the whole album of just being dog shit. So yeah, dude, it's super important to have a good song, and I think power metal gets it, man. They try to suck you in like right off the top. Yeah. Yeah, power metal, I would say overall, just like wrapping up here, it's a vibe. Like every one of these albums definitely has a distinct, so far, has had a very, like, that very distinct power metal vibe of, like, I don't know. It sounds
Positivity.
weird. Yes, it is definitely positivity. Like, I don't feel, like, sad about, like, my situation. Like I don't want to, like, listen to this and jump into a mosh pit. I know it sounds weird, but I don't.
Well, but you know, so it's funny is, you know, like traditionally, like you're working out in the gym, depending on what your style of music is. But like if I'm going for a heavy lift, I have a specific playlist just for those like heavy lifts, right? And there's no power metal on this list. It's Machine Head, it's Trivium, right? It's you know, whatever, Hatebreed. It's a lot of bands like that. And it's funny, I tried to listen to power metal in the gym the other day because I was like, oh, you know, I got to listen to some more of this Edguy record again, right? And I put it on, I was just like, not hitting the right vibe for me right now. Let me just go to something else.
Maybe if you're like doing cardio, like running, like running on a treadmill or like running outside or something, power metal might be more of that vibe. But not if you're lifting.
In a moment where you need to be angry or just like, you know, super intense. Yeah, it's different and it's still good.
But you know what? Driving and listening to power metal is really the way to go for sure.
I feel like I've had less road rage in the times that I've had to listen to like power metal on the way to work. Not had to, but you know,
because you're going down to the devil.
Yeah.
But anyway, hey man, do you have any final thoughts on this album?
No. I mean, I was just like I said, I had some experience with Edguy first, so I was a little worried. Maybe it wasn't going to live up to what I had listened to before, but it certainly did. And I think we have one more Edguy record coming up.
We do.
Coming up, so super excited about that.
So if you're following along, the next album for Half Hour Power that we're going to be reviewing, the next album on our list is from the band Nightwish, and it's the album entitled Wishmaster. So I know nothing about Nightwish. I've heard of them, but that's basically where it ends.
I think it's a female singer, right?
It is.
That's all I know. And it's 14 tracks, so we're going to be picking our best 7. That'll be a new record.
Good luck. But all right, so until next time, we will see you. And again, that's not next week, 2 weeks from now.
But the week after.
Yeah. All right, take it easy, everybody.
Live long and prosper. See you.